Hi, people. This is Mule. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're in peace and that the Lord is keeping you. This is something that happened in January of 11th of January 2022. And I'm going to retell something that a friend of ours, a friend of my brother and I, related to us on that day that he had had the day before, that he had had on 10th. Okay. Now, he called us and he called us on the 11th and in the afternoon. And he revealed to us there was a blackout that day we were experiencing. And we thought it was just a normal blackout because our area had been having blackouts on and off. So we thought it was just our local area. So he tells us that it's a countrywide blackout, and it surprised us because we didn't even think to, and because we had no television, there was no power, so we didn't watch anything. And we usually used to buy data when we need it. So, and our phones were also low on charge, so we're trying to preserve the the charge. So he revealed to us that this was a countrywide blackout, and uh, and he was suspecting something. Okay. And immediately he revealed this to us. The Lord started speaking through me, and he began by declaring that this was the great reset happening. And he told this young man to get his own computer, and that the Lord will lead him to give him codes that will transfer wealth for the kingdom of God during this time. Okay, so he never got it. He never got the codes, but sometimes God talks something and you think it's that particular day he's talking about, but it's a coming time. So he was telling him he'll give him codes. That's what we understood. He'll give him codes later, or maybe spiritually he was given, but he will be opened his mind to remember when the right time comes. But a lot of people are they are spiritual, they're actually kingdom financiers. So they'll be given ideas of how to transfer wealth and how to make wealth for the kingdom of God. So later on, after he finished this, so later on in the same evening, he called us. And actually, when he called us in the afternoon, we were ministering to another lady, so we were not able to talk for long. That's why he told us he would talk to us in the evening. And he called us now to relay something that had happened to him the night before on 10th. Okay, so he told us this is now his retelling. The Lord translated him spiritually into a high profile governmental meeting that included the president, that was the time Uhuru Kenyatta, and representatives of Eastern, Southern, and Western African nations, and also key governmental servants. Okay, and he said the ones he saw was Natembea, and this person he resigned this day of the retelling. Now on January 11th, he resigned that particular day for whatever reasons he gave on air, but he saw him in this meeting. Okay, that's one person he recognized. And then he had them discuss how the jab, okay, that happened in 2020 as a result of the 2020 thing is not going as well or behaving how it should. As in the jabbed people who are jabbed, their reactions to it wasn't how they expected it to go. They were disappointed. There were also some Caucasian people, and this young man was not able to recognize who they were, but they were in this meeting. And then in this meeting, it was said that something worse or of severe measures was to be introduced in order to get the results they wanted. So this group in this room, I said there were about 17 people. I hope I said that. Yes, there were about 17 people, 17 plus people, okay? Because the governmental leaders were part the plus, okay? Plus the leaders or high profile people involved seemed to be, they were jabbed with a different substance than the jab being peddled to the masses. It was jabs of antibodies, okay? So they said they will release some other um, thing, okay, sickness or whatever it was that was worse, because this thing, or that was released on 2020, was ineffectual. It had no effect in Africa, and it will cause, and this new thing will cause um, more sickness and now loss of life. Okay, they had they said they had released. There was in December something. The in December of that year of 2020, there was it had diversified. I think that's it's not the right word, but it had become like a flu-like symptoms. It's become stronger. So something. Well, it began with Omni something. Yeah, if you remember it well, that name. It was supposed to be actually what they were discussing was that the released thing in December was supposed to have reacted badly with the jabbed people, but didn't achieve their desired effect in Africa, according to their discussion. So they said something, they have to release something, um, or rather, they are preparing something was to be released. So immediately he finished listening to all this, he was returned back home where he was, and he was seated in the sitting room, by the way, before he was taken spiritually. His wife did not even, that's why it was a translation. It was his spirit that was taken there. His body was still on the seat where he was seated, because his wife did not see him disappear. He was just there. They didn't even notice that he was elsewhere. So that's something God has told me to share about that particular retelling. So I don't know if I got all the details right, but this was generally what he explained, because now my brother was writing. I can't remember he was writing or we recorded it and then we wrote it later. But most of the time, my brother is the one was being used to write. So probably we recorded it and then he transcribed it, and then so probably it's accurate, all these things he told us. Okay, so thank you so much for listening, and be careful because of the things that are about to happen. Be careful, be careful. Seek God while he may be found. Call on him while he's near, so that he will save you, so that he will save you out of this miry clay that is going to be released on so many of us, that or rather the world, and a lot of people will lose their lives in the course of it. As I told you, God told us that the world's population will be left less than a half. So this is big. This is bigger than what we had before. So thank you so much for listening. Till next time.